Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today for our new lesson. Today we're going to be talking about a new concept called multimeters. So this is a brand new concept and it's going to be building off what we already know about time signatures. So in today's lesson we're going to be talking about a quick review of what we already know about time signatures. We're going to learn what a multimeter is, and then we're going to look at an example so we can sort of understand how it works in a musical context. So let's get started. Okay guys, so let's start with a quick review of meter or time signatures as you may know them. So 4/4 is a common one we see a lot in the music we listen to or you may listen to. So we've got to remember the top number tells us how many beats are in the bar. Okay? Beats per, I stuffed up this piece of paper, beats per bar. Excuse my mistake. Now, the bottom number tells us what one beat is equal to in this time signature. So in this case, one beat is equal to a quarter note or a crotchet note. So therefore, we end up with 4 beats in the bar, and each beat is worth a crotchet. In the example of 6/8, our top number tells us that there are 6 beats per bar, and that one beat is equal to an eighth note or a quaver. So it looks something like this. Cut video there. So guys, now that we've covered what meter is in general, we're going to have a look at what multimeter is, our new concept. So multimeter is when one or more meters or time signatures are occurring in a piece of music. So for example, using the time signatures we looked at before, we could have 4/4 with our 4 crotchet beats, and then we could have 6/8 with our 6 quaver beats. Now we should draw them correctly and link them. I was just trying to draw them nice and neat before so you could see how they're separated. So these ones here, they're still quavers. So if we were to clap this out, it would sound something like this. We'd have 4 beats in the first bar of crotchets and 6 beats of quavers in the next bar, and it'd sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, let's take a look at an example. So the example we're going to use today is called America, and it's from a Broadway musical called West Side Story that you may or may have not heard of before. So let's have a quick listen to that one. So as you can hear, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in this song, particularly in terms of the meter. So in this case, we have a multimeter occurring. Now, the way to help us figure out what meters are being used in this piece of music or any piece of music is to try and group the rhythms. So let's have another listen and try and group them afterwards. Now, you may have heard that there's 2 main groups in this rhythm. We have a group of 3 at the beginning and then a group of 2. So this means that we are using 2 meters in this piece of music. The first is 3/4. And the second is 2/4. And it looks something like this. With crotchet beats because of the 4, Now we've got this written out. Let's have another listen and see if you can follow along to the rhythm. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So hopefully that helps clarify what a multimeter is. Feel free to review this content and watch the video again if you need to go over this section again if it wasn't quite making sense, and feel free to ask me or your teacher in class if you need more help with this topic. Now let's go back and have a chat about why we use multimeter. Cut the video. So guys, let's wrap up our lesson today on multimeter by thinking, why on earth would we use a multimeter? It's tricky and it can be a bit more complicated, but there are reasons that we use multimeter. So the first one is that it can help tidy up like a musical idea that we're writing into sheet music. So we can take different rhythms and fragments of music and we can notate them all different ways. And maybe putting it in a particular time signature or one time signature can make it really messy. So what we might do is use a multimeter like the one in West Side Story, and it makes it really neat and even. Like we saw, it was using 3/4 and 2/4, which is really easy to read. The other reason is that it's a great composition tool and it can be quite creative. You know, a lot of the music we listen to is in 4/4 or 3/4, 6/8, really common time signatures. However, switching it up can create some really cool ideas and something a bit quirky and a bit interesting. So I hope you guys learned something today and I hope you enjoyed it. And make sure to ask myself or your teacher if you have any questions about the stuff we covered today on multimeters. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.